All right, let's talk about something every small business owner knows all too well, that feeling of just constant chaos, right? Well, today, we're going to look at a system designed to take all that craziness and turn your business into a smooth, well-oiled machine.
You know, for so many small and medium-sized businesses, SMEs as they're called, the day-to-day isn't about some grand vision for growth. Nope, it's just about trying to keep your head above water. You're constantly under pressure, you're overloaded with information, and you're being pulled in what feels like 100 different directions all at the same time.
So let me ask you a question, and I want you to be really honest with yourself. Does it ever feel like your business is running you and not the other way around? Like you're just strapped in for a wild ride that you have absolutely no control over? If you're nodding your head right now, trust me, you are not alone.
And this chaos, it has some pretty painful symptoms, and they all feed into each other, creating this vicious cycle. See if any of this sounds familiar. It all starts with your team being confused, right? That leads to inconsistent quality in your product or service. And what happens then? You have to jump in, constantly firefighting, which just wastes tons of time and resources. And all of that, it builds this huge wall that makes it pretty much impossible to grow. It's a tough loop to break.
But here's the thing, and this is the good news. This chaos, it's not just part of the deal of being an entrepreneur. It's not something you just have to accept. It's a problem, and like any problem, it has a solution. There's actually a structured, proven way to build a real standard for success.
So many of us, as entrepreneurs, we feel like we have to invent everything from scratch, every single little process. And you know what? It's totally exhausting and it's super inefficient. It really is time to stop reinventing the wheel. It's time for a standard.
So what is this standard? It's called LF-BOSS. That stands for the Business Operations System Standard. Now, this isn't just another app you download or a list of helpful tips. No. This is a complete end-to-end framework, and it's been designed from the ground up specifically for small and medium-sized businesses to make them efficient and, this is the key part, scalable.
Okay, probably the easiest way to wrap your head around this is to think of LF-BOSS as the operating system, the OS, for your entire business, right? I mean, your phone or your computer, it needs an operating system to manage everything in the background so your apps can run smoothly. Well, your business needs the exact same thing to manage all its operations so your team can do their best work.
So that sounds good in theory, but what does this operating system actually look like? How do you install it in your business? Let's dig into the BOSS framework and break it down step by step.
It's a really clear four-step loop. Okay, first up, define and document. This is all about getting those critical processes out of your head or your team's heads and down on paper. Let's say how you handle a new sales lead. You write down every single step, from that first email to the final invoice. Now you have one playbook everyone can use. Step 2, systemize and simplify. You take that process you just wrote down and you ask, okay, where can we make this better? Where are the bottlenecks? You start cutting out the stuff that's wasting time to make it super lean. Then, step 3, implement and train. This is huge. This is where that new, slick process becomes the new company-wide standard. Everybody gets trained on it, uses the same tools, you're all speaking the same language. And finally, and you can't skip this one, step 4 is measure and optimize. You track things. How long does it really take to close that lead now? Is the system working? Because this isn't a one-and-done thing, it's a cycle. You're always looking for ways to get just a little bit better.
Okay, that all sounds great and logical, but let's get down to brass tacks. What does this actually do for your business, for your team, and hey, for your own sanity? Let's talk about the real-world, bottom-line benefits.
I mean, this before and after picture really tells the whole story, doesn't it? On one side, you've got chaotic, reactive operations, but after, they're organized and proactive. Your team goes from being confused and inconsistent to totally aligned and efficient. And your growth, which felt stalled, like you were just hitting a wall over and over, now it becomes scalable and sustainable. It's a total transformation.
And you can actually see the impact in the numbers. Just take a look at something like team productivity. Before you have a standard system, performance is all over the place, right? But after you implement something like LF-BOSS, you see this massive, stable jump in output. And listen, this isn't about making people work harder. It's about giving them a system that lets them work smarter.
But, it's about more than just numbers on a chart. It's about the culture it creates. This quote from a business owner who went through it just nails it. For the first time, we have a single source of truth. Everyone knows what to do and how to do it. It's been a game changer. Wow, I mean, that kind of shared understanding across your whole team, you can't put a price on that.
So when you put it all together, it leads to one really powerful idea. By putting a system like this in place, you finally get to be the true boss of your business in every single sense of the word. This is the shift we're all looking for, isn't it? It's about going from being the chief firefighter, just running around reacting to whatever emergency pops up today, to becoming the architect. You're the one strategically designing and building your empire on a rock-solid foundation.
So I'm going to leave you with this one last thought to chew on. The ultimate sign of a successful business isn't one that needs you for every little thing. The true sign of success is a business with a system so solid, so well built, that it can actually thrive without you. So the question I have for you is, are you ready to build that kind of business?